From Baxter's 942 in the highlands of Louisville, Kentucky, and worldwide on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, and YouTube. This is Shooting from the Lip. I'm Erik McEwen, joined by Mr. Kevin Hale, as always. And for this segment, as always, on Tuesdays, Mr. Kevin Cummings. And as a special treat, Mr. Russ Hinkle. How you doing?
I'm doing perfect.
Yeah, let's turn
perfectly, and his mic wasn't on.
Okay.
There we go. He's back.
Right. This is, as we talk about every week, Eric, our fun segment of the night where we get to just shoot off a bunch of...
I have fun all night.
Oh, do you? Okay. But,
no, he's trying to say how this is better, and you're supposed to agree.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, oh, my bad. Sorry.
There you go.
The pre-cum is right before. That's hashtag pre-cum.
I like the narration.
Yeah. All right. As usual, bunch of topics to throw at our panel, our contributors here. Do you know about the tornado that went through the city last week, guys? Did you hear about that?
Was it on react365.com? Because if it's so, it was fake news.
Oh, you did know that, right?
Yeah.
A tornado. What,
yes.
Last Tuesday? Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, I mainly knew because I saw Shaun Wallace post about it. And I thought, I believe that guy.
An F1, category F1.
Where?
It went through, Oldham County? Or,
Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt ruined me because of tornadoes. I was really scared as a child.
But I guess my point is that not often does... I mean, it's not like we're tornado central here, but so if anything like that, whether it's an F5 or F1 or F.5 or whatever, it's still kind of a big deal. Okay, there's our little icebreaker. No one wants to... We got our Shaun Wallace moment out of the way.
If it's not a Sharknado, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay.
That's true.
Kev, what about the Kentucky woman that faced the backlash for killing the giraffe?
I was actually just listening to, as I pulled in here, Rogan and Theo Vaughn were talking about it.
I did see, yeah.
Yeah. But, I kind of, like, what Rogan was saying about it, which I thought was interesting. He was saying that, like, what people, because, like, that, I believe the story was that giraffe was killing other giraffes and needed to be killed.
Right, because they couldn't...
So, therefore, the only part that people should be bothered by is that it seems like she got off on it. I guess that's what people think is weird.
Mm-hmm.
But
something about population control, too. They're saying that they have to control the population for the territory because, like, they're kind of territorial.
Which I think, like, the people in that area weren't like, oh, my God, you killed a giraffe. They were like, that needed to happen. So I understand that.
Plus the meat, right?
Yeah, apparently it fed, like, they were talking about how many people. It's ridiculous.
Yeah. So,
like neck meat?
I don't know.
I mean, where do you get giraffe? Is it neck meat?
I guess all pretty much anything.
The meat where the top's the tenderest, like the very top.
Really?
I don't know.
That's where the jerky comes from, like giraffe jerky.
Neck meat.
Neck meat.
Okay. So,
just like the word.
The fact that, that she's Kentucky, so they automatically associate her with her as being some redneck. This is national viral, people. Making it viral that, in fairness, she was actually doing a service.
I guess it's just
it was the
picture and the gloating of it, yeah.
So, Trump on his upcoming summit with Putin, flat said this was the other day. Flat said it was this may be the easiest of all his interactions with leaders. Kind of sends a message, Russ. Why is it so easy to talk to Putin?
Oh, they got it all worked out. I mean, they worked this shit out way long ago. I mean, right? I don't know.
Yeah. You want to elaborate anymore?
Oh, I don't have anything substantive to say. I just think they probably worked that shit out.
All I know is that anyone
ago.
that says they're similar, I keep hearing that. I'm like, no, they're not. Like, Putin is a champion. He might be an asshole, but, like, you put those two in a room, one of them's walking out, and it's not Trump. Like, Putin's a badass.
Well, I mean, Trump, he says something. He's like, this isn't... he's just a competitor to him or to the nation. He's not like a threat or an enemy is what he came out saying yesterday. He's treating him like a competitor, with respect.
Yeah, but he's still, I don't know, has Trump ever acknowledged that, Putin and Russia
does some real bad shit?
Yeah, did,
It does occur
play
to
with
me,
our democracy and the election thing. So.
I hate to bring up anything good about Trump, but it does occur to me that, they don't get to be king of anything if they don't keep the economy going kind of well. So some of these deals that he's making where he's kind of telling, you know what, fuck you, we're not going to give you any more extra money on this, or we're paying too much for this. That almost makes sense unless he's just, some kind of antichrist demon or something. He has to be looking out for the middle class and especially the upper class. He definitely wants them to have wealth, but you kind of have to have the whole machine going well. So, I mean, he does compete on that level. Sometimes he's just a real dick while doing it seems.
Staying with Trump, in this case China, the U.S. and China with their trade war issue. What's your prediction or view on how this is all going to play out?
I mean, my prediction is that people are going to try to get as much money as they can and as much power as they can by any fucking means necessary. That's my prediction. So, I mean, they try to keep it, within reason so that, the people can still go out here and eat sandwiches and talk on radio shows. But it's just... people are going to use technology and cunning and strategy to try to take over the fucking world, basically from an economic standpoint.
Anything like that?
No.
And then Canada, here they're up in the game on the tariff thing too. So.
Well, I mean, it may be out of balance. When you're an economic superpower, and we've been the lone economic superpower for a while. China is an economic superpower, but not on a goods purchasing level that we are for the most part. So they're going to people are going to want to try to take advantage of that. And for a while, I feel like probably we were like, okay, we're kind of say we're doing pretty well, but now it's gotten a little bit tight. Maybe maybe he should take some back. Or again, I can't believe I'm in a position of actually saying Trump's doing something good because, but from an economic standpoint, he would have to do something good. I mean, maybe they wanted to bring a dickish, boorish, no personality having offensive businessman in to clean up some fucking accounting. I don't know.
What's your take?
I'm going to get hate mail now.
Yeah, no, well.
I've
been getting
for myself.
I have to add the little commentary at the end of this segment on how I kind of got busted for we're being too left on this.
A pervert.
Show.
Oh.
Too left.
I didn't say that we were too
Not you.
left.
No, not you.
Oh.
Someone has.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just give
Can't
you a
you do
look
whatever
like
the fuck
we're-
you want, though?
I mean, it technically is.
It's
show.
it's your podcast.
So,
yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So
We're just having fun.
yeah.
He might
having fun
alienate
busting
a
each other.
portion of the
That's about
listenership.
There's obviously no such thing as unbiased media. It's ridiculous. Humans are biased every single time.
Kev, what's your take on faith healing parents?
Huh?
I don't know the context, but they're already that's known as fake healing parents. Obviously, it's fucking retarded.
Well, here's the thing.
Counterpoint. They're very optimistic.
Yeah, well, the placebo effect works, so maybe sometimes their kids get barely better.
Faith healer parents plead guilty in the death of baby after they chose prayer over medical help. A baby.
They didn't get enough likes on Facebook.
That's true. You
That's
do have
terrible
to
to
start
say.
early.
I apologize.
No, actually, you're dead right.
It's just obvious. Yeah, that's terrible. Science. Let science do its thing. It's really working pretty well.
It's a shocking metaphor.
Yeah, it is a great predictor of things. Science knows when you're going to die and not. They're really helpful.
Well, what
More
about-
so than old books.
What about all the outliers, though? There's lots of outliers.
Well, Russ, these two were members of the Followers of Christ Church, a small religious group that rejects medical care in favor of faith healing. So,
Wow.
Yeah, they die faster than other people. It's terrible, but I guess Darwinism.
Well, there's levels to it, you and I know. So it's, you got the Amish. They probably would accept medical care. You have these people. There's some bastardization of, backwoods, R&H era, burn at the stake witches. They probably burn witches. Did you ask if they burned witches?
And Jehovah's Witnesses, they're that way. Weird about it.
so it's probably
Medical
safe to
help.
say that they don't have insurance.
But yeah, I definitely think that's an issue. I mean, that's complete. Just like there's a point to where you can let someone, live the way they want to live, but when they're letting their kids die, that's where someone should step in.
It seems like they wouldn't be around long if they kept letting them die.
Well, I guess they eat healthy.
At least a generation or so.
6-year prison sentence is what they're looking at. So,
Well, hopefully people will be mean to him. I'm just kidding.
Better,
That's terrible, though.
better punishment.
6 years.
Easier punishment than the kid got.
there's a California town that will give a $500 monthly stipend to residents. And I'm pulling up the details of this. It ties into kind of that whole Silicon Valley thing. Let me pull it up. But obviously it's to, this is a startup type of town community. It's coming up.
Probably a wheat rebate from the weed dealer, I would think.
Is it? Well, that's...
I'd say it's tech related, I would imagine.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of money in weed, but way more money in tech.
Yeah.
It's going to be for weed either way.
Yes. It's weed apps. That's what they're...
Yeah, it's... what is it? Damn it.
It's talking about the money. It's going to be for weed either way. The $500 stipend.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I mean, it's...
You can live good that way.
Oh, yeah.
Is the former bankrupt city will become the first in the country to participate in a test of universal basic income (UBI). Also, they're giving 100 residents $500 a month for 18 months, no strings attached. Just to, I guess, to help kickstart the town.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, they could just open up a better soup kitchen and give everybody health care, and then the 500 would, be unnecessary. They could just kind of roam around and work if they wanted to, sleep on the beach if they wanted to.
Thoughts?
Eric, your thoughts? You've been quiet.
Yeah. Give us that right view.
What we need to do is first we need to deport all the people from the town. I'm just kidding. I really want your opinion, Eric.
Yeah.
No, I think it's great. How else are you going to jumpstart an economy?
Well, there's other ways for sure, but I guess that's an interesting way.
To get immediate impact.
Yeah, it definitely feels very, like I don't see it as it being a long-term reality. I see it as like a very experimental kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it hasn't happened on that kind of scale.
Are you all familiar with the universal basic income?
Yeah,
notion?
I've heard it talked about a lot in podcasts and stuff. But, I mean, the idea is that if that people would be able to do more of what they want to do, explore more, actually start their own business that they want to start instead of being... But I just don't think that's the way human beings would react.
People talk about wealth redistribution like it's a terrible thing, but when they're talking about 1/10 control 90% of all the assets, it's like doesn't sound bad to me. I'll take some wealth redistribution.
Well, then you got. I'm looking here. All Alaska residents, including children, received an annual cash payment from oil royalties.
What's your opinion on so what you just said? Makes sense in a way, but that's very much quality of outcome. Like you couldn't, if you were explaining that to someone in like a justice type way, what's fair, what makes sense. Really what you're doing is one person earned more and you're taking from the person that earned more and giving to the person that didn't earn more. So I'm saying take out quality of outcome, not what you want to happen, but what is right on paper, philosophically speaking.
I'm just saying that, when you're playing chess and you have no hope of winning, I mean, you're just down to a couple pawns, the other dude's got his queen and the bishops, you're just you just wipe all the pieces off the board. I'm just saying, let's start the game over.
Is that called...
Strategically, that would be good for me.
Is that a nuclear war? I mean, is that a bomb?
No, just everybody says, okay, the Rothschilds got to cough it up, and we put it all in a hat, and we draw names, and you get whatever thing you get. It's like a Super Bowl draw.
See, to me, that's I always thought Immanuel Kant had interesting thoughts on, he argued for the categorical imperative, the idea that let the maximum of your actions, ultimately what you're doing in that moment, if you were lying to save someone, you're lying. So in that sense, I think that's going too far. But with this, to me, it's still stealing from someone.
If we could take
philosophically speaking, at least.
As you all are all kind of artistic guys. As an artist, you would think that because we don't really, a very small percentage of the population gets really compensated well for art. But everybody who's an artist wants to express themselves through that art. So in all aspects of life, some people have different, they have different things that they can express themselves through. If everyone's basic needs like healthcare and food were taken care of, and they were allowed to express themselves and whatever
that
they
could
do.
happen through fair taxing. I think that like rich people should pay fair taxes for sure.
Yeah.
But like the idea of ultimately just because you succeeded so well, we're going to take your money. That to me, and like I guess I'm just a very like hands off, like laissez-faire kind of Adam Smith capitalism in that sense. Like just don't fuck with it so much that you're just like who gets to decide like you have too much money and who's the decider?
Well, here's what happens. So if you're at a large elementary school and you allow the kids to form their own kickball teams, and they all got to break off into kickball teams, the best kids are going to get on the teams. You're going to have a couple, maybe two teams that could rival each other.
That's exactly what happens.
And
I
so
agree.
If they had to keep going down that road for the rest of their lives, it's going to stay the same. The most athletic kids are going to kick the shit out of the rest of them the whole time. So that happens in the economy. The people with the big money, it's like why you hear
you're
rap music
arguing
a lot.
ultimately that you should like go up and kick the best one, like kick him in the knee so he can't play, because you're like taking, or you're not like or you're saying like you know what I'm saying, like you're crippling the
You
other
got to
team.
handicap a little bit. That's where the taxes are coming in. You got to handicap them a little bit.
I understand the idea of like a fair taxation to because I mean the bottom line is the more money you have, the less money you have to pay because you have the accountants and the lawyers to take care of it. But so I get like that to me is the problem that should be solved, not like this more aggressive form of redistribution.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion anyway. I just think people should be able to, life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness in today's society means, hey, we're not agrarian anymore, so people can't grow their food in the backyard. We're not, the millennials especially, their kids are going to have zero like survival skills. I mean,
Right.
they're just not going to have practical survival skills. Not even fishing, probably. And all of us have probably went fishing with our grandpas, dads, uncles, whoever. We've been fishing. We've been, maybe even hunting skinned deers and stuff like that. So all that's going to be out the window. So life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is not going to be, you're going to have some kind of role to play to take care of your sustenance, your food, your shelter, and all this shit. We're animals. We are fucking monkeys. I don't care what dipshit, doesn't think that we evolved from goddamn apes.
I'm with you on that.
Well, there is no being with me. That is truth and fact. Everyone's there. There's just some people that like to stab themselves in the fucking eye with a poker and go through and make themselves suffer with stupidity. But so taking care of basic essential needs like food and shelter, and we have technology now and healthcare. That's what life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is going to be now. So if you're expected to develop some kind of skill that goes into the technology, having society, you have to at least have your basic needs taken care of. And some people are going to be fucking worthless. There's no question about it. They're going to be fucking worthless. And if you want to have this big fucking spaceship society, what are you going to do? Just going to leave these people? I mean, you're going to have to, then you'll just have to separate it into, here's old school faction over here. You live like the Amish. And then these people over here are going to be a goddamn divergent or whatever these dystopian movies are where everybody's got to compete for food.
I think those are a little bit of leaps. I think there's more possibilities than the Divergent series being the thing that happens. Although I really like those movies. It's like Hunger Games B story.
They were headed that way.
All right, North Carolina mom warns of popular Roblox ROBLOX video game after 7-year-old's avatar. Her 7-year-old child's avatar was violently gang raped. Again, this is.
What game is this?
Did he just chuckle while he said violently gang rape?
No, I didn't mean to chuckle.
What game is this?
God damn.
It's called Roblox. ROB.
I didn't know there were games where you could violently gang rape.
On her iPad. Yeah, exactly. Her confused daughter.
The Apple Store is getting way looser if that's an
Her
app.
confused daughter paused and showed her mom the screen, which the mom shows a female avatar, which in this case her 7-year-old's daughter's character being violently gang
Obviously,
raped.
the 7-year-old girl should not be allowed to play that game.
That's okay. That
good.
was my next thing.
That's definitely a thing of bad parenting. I mean, at the same time, I understand how someone could be upset about it because
But listen,
some kids are going to have bad parents.
here's
It's
it.
not their fault they have bad parents.
Violently gang raped on a virtual playground by 2 male. So this is like real time thing. So
It's really weird and terrible and creepy. Why? Why do these games exist? People are
I mean, the developers, why are they making that an option for players?
because people are fucked up.
I got a little insight on
and it
this.
gets there.
all right, go
Because
ahead,
my 7-year-old daughter got a game from somebody at her school or something. It was supposed to be like high school, like it's a little goofy game where kids can dress up high school girls. You know, it's like little girls can dress up high school girls just to kind of think of whatever. Well, apparently there was a game with a very similar name, and it happened to be some kind of 17-plus high school fantasy thing. This was the avatar that my daughter was using. This you see this on the thing. So I took a screenshot of that and I sent it to my fiance, I guess you call her.
That's crazy.
And her mom, I said, hey, the kids got this game. And all it was they were innocently looking up this game that was popular amongst kids, that was suitable for kids. And they found the wrong one, clicked on it. Parents aren't paying attention. They're saying, here, do this. Most people have the thumbprint thing or whatever for iTunes. So you do the thumbprint and it downloads. But yeah, we probably, the moral of the story is you got to check on the kids. I mean, yeah, give them their space, give them their freedom. Don't micromanage. Don't, overprotect them. But you better check on what the hell they got going on the phone or the iPad for sure.
Yeah, destructive. I've got to go play music now. I love you people.